Hello everyone, welcome to my video. Welcome to this video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about clarity and how to achieve clarity. So, one thing to know is that if you want to achieve clarity, obviously, you want to clear your mind. You don't have to force anything out of your head space. You can just simply listen to music and actually just get yourself in a higher vibration. After you're done listening to music, just sit down, close your eyes, and eventually you're gonna get to that space where you're just at peace. Or you could just do it the other way around, where you calm yourself, you close your eyes, and you just allow your thoughts to flow where they're supposed to flow. And then afterwards, you listen to music or whatever. Let your heart guide you. Let your intuition guide you. Your intuition comes from many places. So can come from your gut, can come from your mind. You could see it through signs, through the people around you. Your intuition is multiple things. So the whole reason for you wanting to get clarity is for you to get better direction in your life. So to make sure that your intuition, to make sure that and just to let you know that you're always getting messages and guidance um, and answers to your questions always, from your spirit guides, from your passed on loved ones, from the Most High, and from your higher self. So to make sure that you're getting accurate messages from them, or accurate guidance from them, and not just your own ego, and not getting things just because you want to hear them, is to, yes, gain clarity. So once you do that, once you allow your mind to be cleared, you will now either open your eyes or start to pay much more clear attention to the colors you see, to the specific conversations that you hear that are not pertaining, not that do not include you. So if you're not talking to somebody, if you hear another conversation, whether if it's through YouTube or through your other family members or friends or even acquaintances or whoever, you will gain much more. You will gain a clearer sense of information, just because your ego is not involved. If you are talking to somebody and you're talking about a certain subject, whether you like it or not, you're going to be too focused on the person themselves than the message. So if you're focusing on a conversation that does not include you, you're going to be more focused on the message than the two people, most likely. So, and the same goes with, like, when you're looking at colors and when you're watching at, like, let's say movies, you pay more closer attention to the meaning of the color than the actual color itself. If you get what I'm saying, like if you look at red, instead of actually just focusing on the color and how it makes you feel, um, based on how it makes you feel in the heart or whichever chakra opens up, you would more focus on an image that comes up. So you may see red, you may think of fire, you may think of a sunset, you may think of a flower. And what does that flower or sunset mean to you? It may mean peace, it may mean comfort, things like that. So all those are messages that are constantly being guided towards you, being brought into your reality to get you onto your divine path. And it looks different for everybody, and at any moment you can change your destiny, and your divine path. So I hope I'm not rambling too much, but I guess that's a message in and of itself. So take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Um, so besides just meditating and just closing your eyes and clearing things out of your head and listening to music, you could also eat. Eating is a way of calming your body, is a way of calming your mind, because when you're eating, it's actually making you feel like you're safe. Most cases, I've never really experienced. Well, you would lose your appetite actually if you don't. If you were if you were having an anxiety or panic attack, you would actually lose your appetite most likely. I've never had a panic and anxiety attack and felt like eating. But if you're eating, you're most likely going to be in a calmer state. So eating is going to actually give you much more clarity as well. Um, the thing is though is that depending on how you react to certain foods, like it's gonna be different for everybody. You want to make sure that you're eating foods that make you feel much more alive or get you excited, at least. Like so, if you're eating it, you don't want to eat a salad if you're not gonna feel excited about it. If it makes you feel alive afterwards, then that's different. But everybody's different. Listen to your body. That's listen to your intuition. That's pretty much uh, the whole gist of it. It's gonna help you uh, be more mindful because when you're eating, you're focusing on the moment. So when you're focusing on the moment, now you're now a lot more receptive to um, receiving messages, whether that be through um, your spirit guides or your past and loved ones, or like anything really. Uh, that will make you more receptive to it. And just keep in mind that your past on loved ones and I spirit guides tend to be a lot more higher vibrational. So I don't know how everybody here watching this video connects to their spirit guides, but they tend to be a lot more higher vibrational. So will it will you will most likely really do have to have a clear mind to receive their messages, to make sure that you're receiving their messages. Your passed on loved ones, um, they can be uh, a lot. Most of the times, they're a lot more closer to you vibrational wise for you to actually receive their messages. So this all plays into the hearing, listening to the conversations that you hear around you, because a lot of times they will talk to you through the conversations that you hear from other people, and even through the people who you talk to automatically. Because what happens is, what I realize is that when I'm getting messages from my past on loved ones, and even loved ones that I haven't met before, um, but they've met like my parents and grandparents, they would communicate with me through like when I'm talking to my sister or when I'm talking to my friend or someone else who I know, they would trigger a thought in them that actually now they will translate into words, and it will be connected to something that I was thinking about before, that I would question and say, oh, is that what they want me to do, or if that is that what they want me to know. um, they would confirm it through that conversation based on the trigger of thoughts that they sent to that person. So the person may have been thinking about water, and then all of a sudden they think about rain, and they say, I wonder if it's gonna rain tomorrow. Did you know it was raining in this state? And rain may symbolize something else for me, which means would probably mean like uh, uh a restart or something, like maybe like when it rains afterwards it's a rainbow, all new beginnings and stuff like that. That would be a message specifically for me. So that's what they do. Spirit guides would do it similar, but what they do is they would most likely communicate with colors, because colors are a lot more general. They like to keep things simple just because the human mind is very complicated, and it has a lot of depending on how deep your shadow how depending on how complicated your life has been in this human realm so far, um, you're gonna have a lot of trouble getting pure messages from them. Just because for example, if you were supposed to have an argument with somebody, you the messages that the person will say would still apply, but just because you're so focused on the argument and the person themselves, you're not gonna get it. That's why spirit guides have some spirit guides and some people have a hard time communicating between those realms, just because the physical realm and the spiritual realm is well, everything is spiritual, but the higher vibrational realms and the lower vibrational realms, the denser realms, a lot harder to communicate between, just because it's like they don't operate on that same time and space frequency, and we do operate on that time and space frequency, but it's not the same. So it's gonna have a harder time communicating. It's gonna be harder to communicate with them than it is with our past on loved ones, just because they are they have they know they have a better idea of what we are going through and how to communicate with us, just because they can either speak our language or understand our cultures. a lot more. So our higher self, uh, similar. I I can't really speak too much on the higher self because it's a mixture of spirit guide and a past on loved one, if you want to say that, because your higher self is basically you, just your higher self, and it is in a higher frequency, but your higher self uh, understands you, you know. So um, yeah, and the Most High, which can be God, Source, um, it, whatever you want to call the Most High, um, it's basic. The Most High is basically always watching over you. It's just that, and always communicating with you the same way. Well, the same with similar ways, but it's like it's learning a new language. The more you practice communicating with them, and the more you practice listening and looking, even smelling, you get sense, and that's a message in and of itself. So it's like the more you practice it, the more you learn their language. Um, uh, yeah. So basically, um, as you gain clarity, you start to see signs and synchronicities, and once you realize, because since we've been programmed so much to follow other people and their opinions, follow other people because they think they know what's best for us, 24/7, yes, they can see certain things we can't see, but it's like we all have our intuitions, and we all have our heart's desires. But the more you become aware of your own intuition, your own guidance, your own inner guidance system, um, you begin to get more and more clear on your individuality. Um, yeah, so as you gain clarity, you start to see signs. You may even see like you just start to see signs, and you become much more clear on what you want and not what you think you want because of other people. So yeah, so that was my video for today, and I hope you enjoyed. Stay blessed, stay healthy, and continue to love yourselves. Peace.